Hello everybody and welcome to my guide on my Hydroid Prime build. Now in this build I'm going to be using both augment mods for the pilfering tentacles and then the viral augment as well. So first we're going to talk about what Hydroid's abilities do, but I'm going to show you this through the market interface because I actually have a Hellminth slot on one of my abilities, and then we'll get into my Hellminth variations, other options that you could pick, and then we'll talk about the build itself. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so we are in the market screen. Now I do want to point something out here. You can get Hydroid's blueprint here for 50,000 credits on the market. This is going to be how you're going to obtain him. You're going to get this blueprint, and then before we get into the abilities, actually I'm going to come over here and show you where you're going to get the component parts at. So the blueprint is 50,000 credits, and then the component parts, you're going to farm this node here on Earth. It's the Oro assassination node for the Vayhek terror frame, it says, and defeating this boss he'll have a chance to drop any of the 3 parts. So you're just going to farm this node until you get all 3 of the parts acquired, and that'll be for normal Hydroid. Hydroid Prime, of course, you have to wait till he's up in rotation to get his parts, or look on the Warframe, like the Platinum Trading Marketplace. Okay, so that's how you get the Hydroid Warframe. And then while we're at it, I do want to show you here where you would get the mods at. So here, you can obtain them through Cephalon Suda. There's the Pilfering Swarm Tentacle Augment. This is probably one of the most important things about Hydroid, because enemies held by tentacles have a 100% chance at additional drops. So Hydroid is essentially a resource farming Warframe similar to like Necros or Korra, where if you're after a particular resource, especially something rare, you know, like Argon Crystals, Organ Cells, you're going to be busting out one of these frames. And then the other one that I am using is the Viral Tempest. Each projectile has a 100% chance of inflicting a viral status effect. And then we've got the other 2 ones aren't really needed. This one, just Rousing Plunder, it gains max corrosive damage, heals all allies. Now, if you are more of a Steel Path person, you could consider this, but personally, I don't really think that this would be necessary. And then the Tidal Surge, this just is an status immunity. So if you're choosing to not Hellminth, like I have, you could indeed do this Tidal immunity instead. So it's through Cephalon Suda. I think you can also get this. Bear with me, guys. Let me see. There's one of the other factions that I'm not allied with. It's the Red Veil. You can also get through no wait, that's Suffer. That doesn't help us out. Is it this one? Yeah, New Loca. So it's either going to be Cephalon Suda or New Loca is where you can get these augment mods through. Okay, so going back to the abilities, I'm going to come back over here. So, Hydroid's passive is that enemies damaged by Hydroid are more vulnerable to corrosive status, with the initial status reducing armor by 50%. Then we've got Tempest Barrage, summons a Tempest to rain down on a target area, and with you're using Viral Tempest, it's going to give 100% status of Viral, which does more damage to enemies based on their health. Corrosive, you know, it strips armor. And then we've got Tidal Surge, which is in slot 2, crush through enemies in a wall of water. This is a movement speed ability. However, if you are choosing to Hellminth, this is the one ability that you're going to Hellminth over, because the other ones are kind of like required. And then we've got Plunder. Plunder armor from nearby enemies and increase corrosive damage on your abilities and weapons. Enemies affected by corrosive status offer a greater increase. So you need to be pretty close to the enemies for this to work. They also can't already have their armor stripped. So my advice with this one is if you see like a bunch of Eximus units or like a bunch of enemies that just respawned in, you run up to them and then use this ability. Then we've got Tentacle Swarm. Summon a creature from the depths. Its watery tentacles emerge from nearby surfaces to wreak havoc. And this is the one that gives us the extra resource drops. So moving on from the abilities, now I actually did something a little bit different, which I'm going to show you here. I actually have the Nourish ability, which is Grendel's ability. So enemies that attack or attack suffer viral damage up to 1 stack, and energy sources provide more energy. These buffs extend to squad mates. So essentially, I'm just stacking all of the viral because we've got the Viral Tempest and we've got the Nourish. Now, I will go over some extra Hellminth options, but since we're already in the build screen, I'm just going to quickly show the build. So in the build here, for the augment mods, I am using Arcane Energize. On energy pickup, 60% chance to replenish 50 energy to self and allies within 15 meters on a 15-second cooldown. I probably could use something different since I am using Nourish, but you know what, oh well. And then I've got Molt Augmented, which does badly need upgraded, I know, but it's on kill, plus 0.4% ability strength, stacks up to 250 times. And then in my aura here, I've got corrosive projection for enemies lose armor. So if in Steel Path, for example, they're just going to lose that armor even more because we're stripping the armor with plunder. There's corrosive projection, we're just doing all kinds of armor things. I do have Power Drift in the Exilus slot here for ability strength. I've got Transient Fortitude for ability strength, negative duration, canceling that out with primed continuity for duration. If you don't have the primed one, you would just be using the regular one, but you'd have a little bit less of the stat. I've got Stretch for range. I've got Overextended for ability range, which is negative to strength. And then we've got a Constitution here, Knockdown Recovery, and ability duration. There's also the Pilfering Swarm, the Viral Tempest, and then I've got on here Umbral Intensify for ability strength, and it also gives some hell resistance. So all told here, we are at like maximum range that we can do for the number of slots. We could swap Power Drift out for less strength and even more range to get 250 if you wanted. But as you see, you've got 150 duration, just plain 100 efficiency, a 235 range, and 149 strength. So the duration, you see, we've got almost 16 seconds on this ability, and we've got 32 seconds on this other ability. This one here gives us almost 40 seconds, and this gives us almost 40 seconds. Because the thing is, like, Hydroid's very ability spammy, but it's just very spammy, but we don't want to have to like constantly be just, if we had a shorter duration, this would be like very, very low, and it's just like, I'm already going to have to cast this because this is what, 16 seconds a minute, it's like 60 seconds, you're already casting this like what, 4 times a minute at least. So it's just like, it lessens the spam just a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some other alternatives for the Hellminth. Now obviously I'm using the Grendel ability, just stacking that extra viral and that energy. If I wasn't stacking the ability for the extra energy, I would probably be running Equilibrium, and for reduced range, I wouldn't have above 200 in order to constantly keep up with the energy. But some of the other abilities that you could consider on here, you could obviously consider Mirage's Eclipse. Reduces damage if you tap it. If you hold it, it increases your weapon damage. So if you do like using weapons a lot, you could do that. Would be a huge damage reduction as well. You could consider trying to do Chroma's elemental shenanigans based on what energy color you've got going on your Warframe. If you wanted the like shield, the armor, the damage from that, you could try to do Chroma shenanigans. You could also, bear with me, I'm just seeing here what we've got going on. I mean, I just like using Nourish on a lot of things. It's honestly one of the best Hellminth abilities that you can use. You could try using Pull for shenanigans to get enemies in range of your tentacles if you don't have a high range on your build. So you could try that. You could also... There is also Roar, which is just everybody gets damage, not just weapon damage. However, I think the Eclipse one is kind of a little bit more useful, but you could consider this too. There is also... probably wouldn't do that just because we need the tentacles to kill things. Now, Spectrate, this works better on Vauban where you're grabbing enemies into the circle, or for instance on Core, but because the tentacles for Hydroid are a little more spread out, probably wouldn't do that one. You could do this for some extra attack, but probably not, honestly. And then this is a personal favorite of mine too, besides Nourish, is Zada's Whisper from Zaku, where you get void damage from all equipped weapons for the duration. So void damage, it bypasses a lot of damage types. It's just kind of nice, honestly. But yeah, there's probably other ones I haven't really thought of. Looking back at it, but honestly I just really like using Nourish for the energy. Yeah, because I'm looking at the rest of this here. Yeah, I would just say stick with Nourish, maybe Roar Eclipse if you really want the boost. Could try Pull just to get things into the tentacles, but honestly, Nourish is probably one of my favorites. You could also, for funsies, try your Ellie's Aqua Blade. If you're doing like melee shenanigans instead of ranged shenanigans while your tentacles are killing things, you could try that. It is absolutely an option. Alright, so do you want to share some gameplay of Hydroid? Now, normally for my weapons, I just show you, a demo in the simulacrum so you can get an idea of the weapon. That doesn't really work so well with Warframes that I've found because the simulacrum just doesn't load in a ton of enemies. So I am going to show you a defense mission here. I'm going to go to my very popular Helene on Saturn where everyone is farming, the Orkin cells. We're going to come out here and also farm some Orkin cells. And we're just gonna blow up all these supplies. But then I'm just gonna show you what your rotation's gonna be like with Hydroid. So with Hydroid, normally I would probably drop some energy, but you're gonna do the tentacles when you're defending a defense target or if you've picked a spot to sit, in survival. We're gonna cast Nourish, and we do need to also get some energy going so we can, get the plunder gang on enemies, which we did here, and here is a great meow. Wow, everybody's gonna hear it. Meow. Wow. So as you can see, we ran into enemies. We got 241 armor and plus 60% damage, which is really nice. We're just gonna run around. We're gonna refresh this. Things are ticking away. And the tentacles are just kind of doing their best because see, 44 enemies already killed. So that's pretty much how this goes, is that we're just gonna stand here and we're gonna kill things. Looks like we got some alive enemies over here somewhere. And oops, can't refresh a buff because we killed everything too fast. So we'll do one more round just so everybody sees here the gameplay. So we got enemies spawning. Here's Tentacle Swarm, and you can see it spawns tentacles kind of everywhere. There's even some like over there. We're doing Tempest Barrage, and then we're gonna find some enemies to run into so we can do our oh, we didn't quite get it there with Plunder. We'll run this way. There we go, 727 armor, 182% damage. And you see we're getting happy little numbers everywhere. Well, we would be if there was a higher enemy density. Right now it's just kind of, there's gangs. Yeah. Gotta refresh the tentacles. Oh, there's a Jade Xmas. He's gonna refresh that buff. That did not go as planned. But as you can see, super effective. We could be doing this in Steel Path early and it would be fine. So it's just the tentacles, just the Tempest Barrage. We gotta physically go run into something in order to do the Corrosive Plunder. And just make sure you're refreshing your Nourish buff. And that's really all there is to it. So just refresh gangs when they're down. run up to enemies to do the buff, and yeah, that's all there is to it. And guys, that is gonna be it for my Hydroid Prime build guide. As always, questions and comments are welcomed in the comment section below. Hopefully this information helped you, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.